Hey everyone. So tonight I want to take a look at a World of Warcraft add-on called Grid. Grid is a unit frame that you can use to keep track of players, debuffs, buffs, and other things going on in your group. So first we're going to start out at WoW interface. You can also go to curse.com to find add-ons. And we're just going to type in Grid. So Grid is this first object. It's been updated for 7.0.3. Last update was 8/02/2016, so it's been updated very recently. And we'll just read what this says. It says, Grid is a compact and highly configurable party raid unit frame add-on. The compact grid of unit frames lets you select a group member quickly, while keeping a good overview of the whole group. It allows as much information as possible without overloading you. It allows you to customize what information you see and how you see it. It works in both party and raid groups and supports pets and vehicles. So Grid, just basically as it says, it's just a unit frame for parties, raids, and you can just have it just for yourself. It also has plenty of third-party plugins that you can add to add ability and utility to Grid. And I'll just leave that up to you to take a look at. So this is kind of an idea of what it's going to look like. So you're going to go over here to where the download is over here. You click on that, and I'm right now in Chrome. So you're going to get your little grid down here. You're going to click on it, and it's going to pop open an add-on, or it open up a box that'll ask you to extract the file. And where you're going to extract it is it's going to be inside of your PC, probably program files. I don't know exactly the name of your program files, if it's x86 or something else, and I'm sorry, but I don't know what Macintosh will show in terms of program files. But you're going to look for World of Warcraft interface, and then add-ons, and once you select that, this is where you're going to extract. So to show you where it is, and here is, once you're done, you will have Grid. Now I have some additional grids that I use. These are third-party that I use to add additional functionality. And right now there's two grid status heal trace and grid status raid debuff that are updated, whereas these grid status dungeon rows, VATS health and health reduced, healing reduced are both a little bit out of date. They're about a year old. There was another grid also, in case you didn't see it here at the very top, called BD Grid. I haven't quite looked at it. I tried it once 7.0.3 dropped. I decided to download and take a look at it. It might have some promise, but with the fact that Grid is being updated and maintained, so I'm very happy about that, I will probably just in the end not even touch these, but I have them there anyway. So once you've done that, you've basically taken care of the minimum you need to have. So we're going to get to game. Hopefully tonight we won't have problems. Last night, internet service providers were getting DDoSed, and the one provider that I use was getting DDoSed a whole bunch. So let's just unclick load out of date so you can see here. So Grid is up to date. Grid status heal trace and raid debuff are both up to date, but we have a couple here that are out of date. So why don't we do this? I'm going to turn these off. Yeah, let's just turn these off and let's just deal with Grid itself. So I'm going to click load out of date add-ons. We're just going to take a look at Grid itself. We're not going to worry about the third-party additional plugins you can add for Grid. So what you're going to see is, you see over here is Grid. It's this little teeny tiny box, and up here is the little icon on my menu up here. So I'm just going to move it up here. I'm left clicking my mouse to move this. So if you right click, you're going to open up the menu, and if you left click, you can move this mouse around, and then a right click will open up the menu. So kind of take a look here what they got going on. So I'm just going to create a profile. So the first thing I'm going to do is just call this Stephen Lord. Alright, so now we have a profile, and as we create this profile, once we're done, we should be able to open up characters on other accounts and be able to load this profile, as long as those accounts are sharing some of the same folders that is on my desktop, the same add-ons folder and everything. Then they'll be able to select this profile that I'm saving all my work on. So first thing we have is Show Tab. So Show Tab is this little icon, and you see we can move it around by that. We can also grab this little corner here, the space around this this little nameplate that you can see, the smaller square. So you can grab this area and move around. It's a little harder to move in the middle, so you're gonna have to leave yourself some wiggle room to grab. Now you can either use the grid handle, or you can leave yourself enough padding around the actual unit frame, around all the frames, so you can grab that instead. So I like it over there. You've probably seen it that I have over there, so I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do a frame lock so it doesn't move anymore. Click through background, allow mouse clicks to pass through, background when grid is locked. I don't care about that. Horizontal groups, switch between horizontal and vertical. I like vertical. I like to use groups that match what Blizzard's using, so I'm going to press the O key to open up this panel. Now I'm going to look at RAID, and you're not going to be able to see very much here. Can I? Oh, I can't convert to RAID without somebody else. So in this panel, if I had another player in here, I could click this button called Convert to RAID, and that would open up a RAID frame, and then I could kind of show you a little bit about how this grouping will be set up, but I don't have anyone, and I'm not going to try to invite anybody. Okay, so let's get back to grid. So display pets, that's all up to you. So I find display pets, if you're doing like a 5-man and you're somebody who cares about taking care of pets as well as taking care of players, you can certainly click that. Me, I don't care about them at all. I don't care if they die or not. What I care about is the players die, because players can resummon their pets. Now we're going to go down to layout. So solo layout, which is what I'm in. So I'm going to do it by group. So the reason why I'm doing it by group is that's going to follow what this frame, when we load up a grid frame. You know what, gosh, I should really open up another frame, because this is going to be incredibly annoying. It's going to be hard to explain to you. So give me a second. Ta-da! There we go. Okay, 1 second. Alright, so we got this open. Stepanova just came online. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to right click on his name where I can get this little menu. I'm going to invite him, and he's going to say, yeah, sure, I'll meet you. Hopefully. Okay, so this is going to kill my frame rate. I'm in the grid right now, so I'm just going to exit game, because this is just going to kill the experience for you. All we need is just to have him in there. So convert to RAID. So the way you see this is set up is Blizzard has its own RAID frames, and when you come into game, your groups are going to usually be grouped by how this is set up. So the reason why when I show you how I'm going to do my layout, I'm going to be doing it by groups, is so I can accurately reflect what Blizzard's layout is going to be, because most players that are going to be in the group with me, whether we're doing a 5-man or a 10-man or a 25-man or a 40-man, are all going to have that same experience. And when we're doing a fight where there needs to be coordination, I need to make sure that my frame matches what everyone else is seeing. So if somebody says, hey, Steven, everyone in group 1, which you see here, everyone that's in group 1, oh, okay. So everyone that's in group 1, you're going to do A thing, and everyone in group 2 is going to do B thing. Well, if I don't do this correctly, I can end up in the wrong group, and when somebody says group 1 is supposed to do this and I'm not doing that, that's going to get me yelled at. So we are going to make sure that, no, I don't want to reset SCADA. We got to make sure that we do our layouts. We're just going to do our layouts. All these layouts are going to be done by group and not by role. So there we go. Did it by group. Alright, so show offline. It depends whether or not you care about that kind of stuff. Blizzard Tooltip, just to give you an idea of what this is going to look like. It's nothing. It's really a default. I wouldn't worry about it. Border texture, Blizzard Tooltip. I would just leave it the same thing. Those aren't going to really matter very much. So we have border size, so let's take a look at what that does. That's going to change the size of the border around my frame, and I don't want to get the border too big. So I don't know, 16. That looks pretty. That looks all right. Border insert. I think that's going to be fine. We'll play with that a little bit. You see how that kind of changes how that looks. I'm just going to leave it right where it was at 4. I think that'll be fine. Layout anchor, so where the grid is anchored relative to the screen. So top left means when somebody joins my group, my grid, when it fills up, will fill up from the left and it will go down to the right. So the reason why we want to do this, and you can do it any way you want, but the reason why I do this is when the group loads up, because of the way I set up, I want the grid to build out right and left, because I've got this set up so this whole area right here where I'm mousing over is where my grid is going to fill up for like a 25-man. And I don't really do very many 40-man groups, so I'm not as concerned about that. Group anchor, top left. So you got unit spacing, that's the space between each person in the unit. Let me see, get that person there. So unit spacing, you can make that a little bigger if you want, ridiculously big. I like to leave it at 1 real close so it's easy to switch between one player and another player for like healing and stuff. Layout padding, that's just the padding around the frame. I think 10 sounds just fine. If you set this really low, then you leave yourself very little room to like drag your bar when you're trying to move around. Scale, I would just see scale, leave it at 100. Reset position will just move the position where you have it set up. So okay, so that should take care of everything there that's important. Alright, grid frame. So here in general is the frame width and height. As you can tell, this is really teeny tiny small. So I'm going to go up to, well, let's go 54. 54, this is what I like. It's, yeah, you're supposed to move when I do that. 54. Okay, so it looks a little weird right now, but as soon as I reload the UI, it should be okay. Corner size, though. Corner size is going to be a reference to, you see those little icons in the upper left and right side of step on my frame? Those are going to be representative of either roles or buffs or debuffs. Those will be, I'm going to explain that in just a little bit, but I'm going to make it 10. And the reason is I want it big enough so I can kind of see what's going on, and I just like that better because one of those little bars up there is also going to be representative of aggro for me. So tooltip, so you show your tooltip when you mouse over. You can either do it always, never, or out of combat, which is what OOC means. So I'm going to choose out of combat. So I want this tooltip that you see down below, right above my SCADA, Stephen Lord, Light of the Dawn. I want that only to show when I'm out of combat. I don't want to see it when I'm healing and in the middle of a game. Orientation of frame is vertical. I want it up and down. That's the way I like it. I'm not going to worry about throttle updates, I don't think. So throttle updates on group changes, this option may cause delays in updating frames, so you should only enable it if you're experiencing temporary freezes or lockups when people join or leave your group. I don't think that's very valuable. Okay, so let's go on to bar options. So right now I have gradient shows. It might be something different for you. So it just changes the way the grid look. You see you kind of got a little gradient going on there. Armory, skill bar. It's all about, you know, what you like and what you think looks good and easy for you to deal with. Alright, toggle the health bar color indicator. Nah, I don't really care very much about that. Invert bar color. So that's just going to take the color that you're showing and invert the colors. Invert text color. See, I look at that and I still think that that's hard. Even if I change the color of the text, I think that that is going to be harder to see than just this light text, the light version, because I'm paladin, so pink is, you know, pretty. Paladins are pretty in pink. So we're going to dark pink for the backdrop and then light pink for our names. Healing power opacity, that's fine. I'm not going to mess around with that. Let's see, icon options. That's just going to be the size of the icon in the center. So we're going to go over that in just a little bit. Icon border size. I don't think you need to change this any bigger. This is just a border that'll be around the icon when it shows up. I will show you how that works as soon as I get my status and indicators all set up. Enable icon cooldown frames. Icon stack text. Yeah, I mean, either way, these you can use or not. It doesn't really matter to me. I hardly ever watch that stuff anyway. Font. So, what I'm using right now, and this is the default, is Fritz Quadrata. So I believe that this is what is called a sans serif font, which means it doesn't have edges on the fonts. And I think it's a very easy readable font. There's lots here you can choose from if you want to try them out. Let's see what narrow. Yeah, it's all up to you, whatever you like. I think this one reads the best in my opinion. Font size is however big you want it to be. 13, 12, keep going as big as you want, as easy it is for you to read. I think 14 to 13 is more than adequate. Font outline, so mine has font shadow. It shouldn't really matter, but you can certainly leave it off. Just the font line, I don't think it matters on that one. I don't use font outline. I think it just makes the font smaller. Center text length. Number of characters to show on a text center text indicator. So as you see here, mine shows step, and this character that's offline shows awful. And you're wondering, how do you change that? Well, this is where you're going to change it. So we can make it bigger, Steph, Steefy, and then it gets only so big because there's only so much room for a font size. If I want more room, and go a little smaller, and then ta-da, there you got Steven. But I like it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to go for character length of 4, because 4 characters, in my opinion, 4 characters is enough to see a distinguishing difference between one character who has a name similar to another character. Unless everyone in the raid is Steven something, I think that 4 characters is enough to distinguish between somebody whose name starts with an ST and somebody else starts with the same first letters, 2 letters. So indicators. Alright, so these are statuses of where you're going to be placing indicators on your bar. So we start off with the border. So border is this area that's around your name, and I have first set aggro there. So when somebody gets aggro, this bar is going to light up a little bit. And let's see, low. Why not? I'm going to turn that stuff off. That's default. I don't care. All I care about is just aggro. That's good enough for me. Healing bar. See, absorbs. I don't have absorbs anymore. Coming heals. No, I don't care about that. Center text. So center text is the text that you should see for your character. Let me turn off unit name so you can see it. So that's where that center text lies. That's just the unit name so you can see offline warning, incoming heals. No, I don't think I need that. Health deficit. No. Feign death. Yeah, I want to see that. Ghost. Yeah, I want to see that. Death warning. I wonder if I care about that. Probably not. So to me, the center text should be like either like the unit name, the name of the character in there, or something like simple like offline warning, or somebody feigned death, or somebody's ghost. They're, you know, running back dead. Center icon. I don't think I have anything in here unless it's something that's not going to show up. Oh yeah, ready icon. Okay. No, raid icon and ready icon. So raid icon could be something like a circle or dot or whatever. Let me see. Alright. I can't do... Oh, shoot. Alright. Well, a ready check is just... It's going to show up below the character. Give me a moment. So, you see that where I just picked up unit name and that just showed up? So, that's what's going to kind of end up in that spot. So when somebody does a ready check, you're going to see that check mark appear above their name. So what I'm doing here is this is only going to be, the center icon is going to be mostly temporary things, and it's not going to be something that stays permanent. Because the problem with permanent things is it's going to cover up the name of the person. You're not going to, if somebody calls out, oh, somebody in the raid needs a cooldown from you, and you're looking through the raid and you know, you have something like, you know, the unit name in there. How are you going to know who that is? You really won't know. So that's not a good job, you know. Rolls. There's a plus for healer. Big deal. So raid icon could be like when the circle comes up, when a part of the fight comes up, and you're given an assignment, that circle shows up so you know that you're supposed to be doing something there. Ready check is a temporary thing that lasts, was it, you have 10 seconds to click your ready check or something like that. So that's something you're going to put there. Now, other things I'm going to put in the center are abilities that only have a limited period of time that they show up before they disappear. We will not be booking Beacon of Light because Beacon of Light will stay up a very, very long time. We will instead put up things like a curse or a disease or a magic or a poison, because these are all things. The curse I can't do anything about, but I believe I can still cleanse disease, magic, and poison. I should check that. Yeah, let me quick check that and make sure cleanse. Okay, so yeah, cleanse can deal with poison, disease, and magic effects. Ooh, and it has an 8 seconds cooldown. Oh, that's so much nicer than what they had during this expansion when you had to wait. So I put curse in there just because that's important. I could certainly take that off and just say I could care less about a curse because I can't decleanse it. So the idea is that in the center icon, my thinking is that's something that I want in to show up in that place so I know, oh, somebody's got a cleansable debuff, and either A, we know this is a cleansable debuff that I want to remove as soon as I see it, or it's one that I know that we don't want to remove it because if we remove it, it blows up and damages the raid, but whoever's got it on them is taking damage, and I know that at that time they either need a cooldown to survive it, or they need heals, just, you know, non-stop spam heals to keep them alive. Now there is third-party add-on. One of those add-ons I turned off gives me a little bit more functionality to this. It takes this step and it moves it up a little bit more from where it is, so you will see the step will be up higher here, and this area will be open, so that step won't be covered up by the center icon. Instead, the center icon will be, you know, it'll be still in the spot, but the step will be moved up a little bit. It could be that maybe I'm wrong, remembering that incorrectly, but so there are going to be other things in here, other abilities that I'm going to add to this. We won't be adding group assistant, group leader, because again, these are permanent things that are going to stay on there. You see, like in vehicle, yeah, it's possible you could do that. It's possible, but things like master looter, that's a permanent thing. That's always going to be there. So things like master looter and group leader and group assistant, and even my buff bacon is going to be on the sides because it's a permanent, and I don't want in the way of the name. So there are some abilities I have here which I do want to show up on the bar. I want to be able to see. One of them is Avenging Wrath. One's going to be Aura Mastery. I don't know if I care about this so much. Yeah, I think that might be the two big ones that I want to make sure. Oh yeah, Divine Shield, Divine Protection. So those are also going to be in center icon. I'm going to have to add those, and I'll show that in a minute when we get to statuses. So here is top left corner where you see this green icon, and that's role. So I'm a paladin, and when we get around to statuses, we're going to take a look at roles and colors that we can add to make it different. So they don't have to. It doesn't have to be green. I can make this blue. I can make this red. I can make it whatever. Top right corner, you can see group assistant, group leader, master looter. I just leave them all in that side because it just tells me this person's in charge. I got a problem. This is the person I can go and talk to about if I have an issue. Bottom left corner, that's going to be an aggro symbol. So like this green square, you're going to see in the bottom left when somebody has aggro, as well as the outside of their frame getting highlighted. You're also going to see this turn red if this works correctly. I don't know if I've checked on that to make sure that still works, or even if it doesn't anymore. Okay, bottom right corner. Alright, so no, I don't want those. I want those in the middle. I want bacon. I want bacon on the right side. To me, I save the right side just for my own personal debuff that I give to somebody, because Beacon of Light is going to stay on there for a while. Let's take a look at Beacon of Light. Places a beacon of light on a friendly target. Your heals and other party members ready to also heal. Beacon of light. Target up to 40% amount healed. Your flashlight and holy light on the beacon target will also refund 30% of their mana cost. Instant, 60-yard range, and it says nothing about how long it lasts. So, forever. And ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, so I got bacon selected. There it is, right there. You see that little green light? That's bacon. And I have it for ever and ever and ever. Alright, so, oh yeah, we were at indicators. Frame alpha. Meh. Yep, don't care about those things. Okay, statuses. Now here's where the hard work begins. So if you're interested in raiding and getting serious and stuff, you have to put time into adding buffs and debuffs to this part of the grid interface so you can track that stuff that's going on. So here are auras that are potential are buffs that you can manage on your indicator. So center icon can be any of these buffs or debuffs. So here's where, so we didn't have Avenging Wrath. Take a look at indicators. So it would be a buff, and there's no Avenging Wrath. It just starts with bacon. So I'm going to put Avenging Wrath, and then you can either press enter or go okay. So there it is. Debuff Avenging Wrath, indicator, Avenging Wrath shows up, doing it. Okay, popping it, bam, there it is, right there. As you see, it's slowly ticking down. The indicator is showing us how much time we have left on it. Yes, it's covering up my name, but this thing's only going to be there for another 7, 6, 5. You get the point. So that's what we're going to add there. Now there's a lot of different things I want to add there. I want to add my Aura Mastery. I want to add Divine Protection. I want to add Divine Shield. I want to see, and I want to add Forbearance. Oh God, yeah, if you're a Paladin, Forbearance. Got to add it because it can affect so many different things you're doing, especially if you do a lay on hands on somebody like a tank. it's important to know that you're not going to be able to hit them with anything else that doesn't work with forbearance, like bopping them or something, or giving them, well, forbearance doesn't last as long as lay on hands cooldown does. So that's stupid, Steve. Yeah, okay. So that's where I'm going to add. So that center icon is where I'm going to add the things that I'm tracking, like Venging Wrath, my buffs, or debuffs, like curses and stuff. So if the boss had something called I hate you, oops, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I hate you, and that's a debuff that gives you, and when it does, he hates you. Then you go into here, you scroll down to debuff, and where's I hate you? Oh, there, debuff, I hate you. Then you can click on this, and when the boss does that I hate you ability, you can see it show up in your center icon for as long as it lasts. And this is very useful when the boss is can debuff a character with something like something I'm trying to think of what a good example is, and I can't think of a good example. Well, anyway, when the boss gives you the I hate you debuff that lasts for 10 seconds, it'll show up in their center. You'll know it's there, and if you know that I hate you means that this guy's going to be taking a ton of damage, then you're going to know that this is the guy who got I hate you. I mean, I hate you could hit anyone. It could hit the tank, it could hit a healer, it could hit a DPS, and that's the benefit. That's why you put it here, because there are some debuffs that might be targeted to specific characters like the tank, or some that will be targeted to characters who have mana pools, or characters, this, that, or the other thing. That's what that does. And let's just say that we got through the expansion, we don't need this anymore. I hate you doesn't matter anymore. You're moving on to the next place. You're never going to go back against the boss that does I hate you. You're going to click it, and it's gone. So I got a bunch of stuff that I got to add. But let's talk about here. We're going to take a look at the buff. So we have to make sure it's enabled 1. We can set a color for it. So this color is not the color that I want. I want it to be like kind of a yellow. Man, these yellows are ugly. Oh, that's stupid. Oh, man. I hate it when Okay, so that's a very bright yellow. I'm going to use that. Yeah, I'm going to use that to represent my bacon. Yeah, that's a good bacon color. You don't like it, I don't care. So, okay. Priority sets the priority of... So, when players are experiencing multiple buffs and debuffs throughout the fight, and you see those little icons showing up, we're setting it up so you're only going to be able to see one buff or debuff at a time. So what this means is we have to set up a priority. Which one is the most important one we got to see? So if I hate you goes off, all right, so let me go add that back. I just removed it, and now I think I hate you. I hate you. All right, we added it. It's in there. We got debuff. Where is it? I hate you. So I hate you hits so hard, you've got to make sure that no matter what happens, if this player is like a paladin, they're popping their Avenging Wrath, and I have Avenging Wrath set like 98, because I want to be able to track who's doing what and what's going on. Let's just say Avenging Wrath becomes an ability that only one paladin at a time can pop. I want to be able to pop that this paladin's popping it, and I want to do mine right after they're done, because we're going through a part of the fight where there's just crazy amount of damages, and I got to make sure that we have a rotation for who's a popping Avenging Wrath first, next, and third. Let's just say that he gets I hate you. So what we're looking for is we don't want his priority on that to be higher than this, because then I have no idea, because he'll have Avenging Wrath and this will be seen, whereas I hate you will not. and I won't know this guy's got it or gal, this person got a player's got a debuff that is going to rock the world. So I want to make sure that the absolute worst stuff that's going to happen, the stuff I got to watch out for, is highest. Like Avenging Wrath, I'm going to put that at 90, man. You know, that's, I want to see it, but it's not terribly important. I Hate You is absolutely important, and make sure you got it enabled, otherwise you're not going to know. And I Hate You can either, some abilities will come with their own debuffs that you have to know, or icons that you will have to know what they look like. So you shouldn't have to worry about color. It should place an icon in there. You know, it should be an icon like what you saw with Avenging Wrath. Alright, so I think we got that covered. I think I can get rid of I Hate You. Back here, go back to auras. Get rid of I Hate You. I don't care anymore. I hate you. So we're going to have to keep adding buffs and debuffs. You know, Aura Mastery is a buff, so I'm going to add it here, and then I'm going to set it to track it. Avenging Wrath is important, but Aura Mastery is more important because it's everyone in the raid, and I want to make sure, I want to track the other paladin, because you know, I don't want to pop my Aura Masteries popping theirs because they don't stack at all. Because Avenging Wrath is not a problem. I can cast Avenging Wrath whenever I want. It doesn't matter when anyone else does. But Aura Mastery does, because if we stack that, then we're being idiots. So, like when we're in that phase of the fight where everyone's taking tons of damage, we're gonna pop Aura Mastery, and we got the paladins who have Aura Mastery popping their shit. I'm just disconnected. Yeah, I know. I got to do something about that eventually. Eventually, I'm going to start reading up on that, start making calls, and figure it out. Oh well. Alright, this video is taking a long time. I'm going to try to wrap this up as fast as I can. We're almost near the very end. So, ta-da, we got that here. It's all good and everything. Yep. Make sure I didn't lose anything. So there's more information here, more things you can look at. It's Group's Assistant, Data, Master Looter. I've already got these different set up here on the top left. They don't need any priority, but they need to be enabled. Health. Yeah, I have that enabled, so I can watch the health deficit. See what happens when they're taking damage. Absorbs. I don't care about absorbs. I don't get absorbs anymore. Aggro, yes. Death warning, yeah. Feign death, yeah. I want to see if the hunter's feigning death. In vehicle. Yeah, I want to see that. Incoming heals, no. I don't need to see how much heal I'm putting out to somebody. That's just not matter. Low mana warning. I think for low mana warning, it's better to have one of those add-ons that manages mana for you versus using this. Mouse over. No, I don't need that. Offline warning, got that. Out of range. Yeah, I want to see out of range. Raid icons. So here's the raid icons. They're all enabled, so if I make myself pretty little star. Where? Ooh, I could. Healer or cease. Alright, I'm just not going to worry about that. I forgot how to place an icon on myself. Maybe I just have to have myself selected, and then I can select it there. So, alright, there's my ready check again. Make sure all this stuff is enabled. Resurrection, yeah. Roll. So, I only keep track of healer and tanks. Again, that's enabled, and that should be this top left bar, I believe, is where I have roll set. And I don't worry about DPS, because if you're not a tank or healer, you're DPS. Pretty simple. Enable. Yeah. Monk tanks. I don't know. Probably don't care. Unit name. Yeah, I want the unit name. Disable that. There I go. Bye bye. Use class color. If you ever have a problem with the color not working out, you can always slick this. I mean, you just see that I turned white. I like having a class color on the name. I don't know why it is. It must be have to do with that thing when you're looking, when you do the test, you look at a color and a name that says a color, how it can trip you up when you're supposed to be reading off the color based on the color that you're seeing that the name is. And if the name says blue but the color's red, people will say blue anyway. So to me, when I see this, I don't see a paladin anymore. I see just an unclassified class. To me, this just sells it to me that this guy's a paladin right now. Voice chat, no. I mean, what are you kidding me? You what? Focus, yeah. Don't care. Target, nah. No, don't care. Colors. Here's all the default colors, man. I wouldn't mess with this. I think this is good. You got your Demon Hunter, so it's all good. Fallback color. Yeah, that's fine. Beast, demons, undead. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see too many of these because I don't have people in the class. Typically, these probably be like pets. Could also be that somebody gets transformed in a fight and they turn into a demon or demon kind or something. So, there you go. That's a possible way of doing it. And then there's your profile. There's help and debugging. You don't have to worry about that. So, I'm just gonna do okay. And let's see. I wonder. Yeah. Should be that. I'm going to do my reload on my UI and see those colors clear up. Alright. Alright, something's a little bit wrong here with this color not showing up properly. Bacon is not showing up the right color. Frame lock, yeah, I want frame lock. Alright, I'm going to have to look into this and see exactly what am I missing. Text bar icon, it's not an icon. Frame width, I only want 54. Click through. Okay, let's start again. No, don't worry about those. Background border color doesn't matter. Layout, groups. I gotta figure this out, man. I just showed this to you and I told you would see a color and you're not. So I'm gonna get called. I'm gonna get called for not getting that. We gotta figure this out before we close this out. And I say bye bye. Better. Gradient, that doesn't. Hidden bar passage shouldn't matter. God. Don't care about font shadow, font size. Indicators. That shouldn't matter. Bottom right corner is beacon of light. Yes, I know it's beacon of light. Statuses. Beacon of light. Oh. It says green. I want yellow. What happened? Alright. I want a little bit there. Yellow. Show if mine. Oh, I bet you that is it. That might be it. Okay. Let's try reload UI. Come on, big money, no whammies. Don't make a fool of me. Oh yeah! That's yellow! And I'm screaming into the mic at you. I'm doing a fist pump, but I'm just doing it quietly. I'm letting my mouth do all the talking. Get the pun. Alright, so sometimes things don't automatically update. You just have to do /reload space UI to show up. So let's see. Let's just change those indicators. Hold on a sec. Let's see. Roll. Hide in combat. No, I like it to be shown up. So healer. I don't like green. I want blue because I'm a blue. Tank. I'm not gonna pick. I would gonna pick a red. I can't think of a good color for a tank. Just there. Ta-da. Okay. Did I get this done? Needs a little lighter. Okay. Where we got? Group assistant. Priority. I'm just going to go with white because I could care less. I mean, maybe you do care. But I'm just going to pick white for that. And then we're going to reload UE. Alright, this should be getting pretty close to being done. There you go. There you go. That's your healer. He's a group leader, group assistant, master looter, and he's got bacon. Bacon. I can make that any color I want. I can make that orange or this red or whatever color you want to make it. Pop my wings because I gotta do some heals. And I think that pretty much shows it. And as I said, there are other little third-party add-ons you can use to add some functionality to Grid. I'll just leave it up to you, man, to take a look at that and see what you like, play around. Usually the best thing to do is, if you can't find anything like my video or other explanations, other videos talking your way through all these different things that you can use, just go through and start playing with it. So yeah, I set my profile. It's all done here and everything. I should be able to load this on another character. So let me go get Fancy Face back here, because he also has Grid, and he's also using that same folder where all my WoW stuff is being held. So go here, and I'm gonna fool around a little bit. Alright, so this is my Shadow Priest, and even though he probably doesn't care about Grid very much, he's gonna come in, and I want to use that profile because I like it so much. And maybe I want to heal sometime on this priest, and I want to heal with the same setup so it's familiar, and all I have to worry about is making sure. So you can tell things are kind of a little bit different. There's a little bit of a weirder gradient going on here. So we're going to go up here to Grid. I'm right clicking on profile. It says default. I'm going to find, oh, why is it, oh, okay, hold on a sec. Oh, so much hatred. What in the world? This should carry over the profile. Do I have to log out? Oh, nuts. Alright. Okay, so I'm sorry, dudes. Shoot. Why aren't you doing that? It should. Fraps is getting really bad. Okay. Just get out of here. Shoot, I'm sorry guys, man. I'm telling you that you can carry it over, and for some odd reason. What did I do wrong? Nuts. Copy the settings from one existing profile to current active. Alright, let me take a look at that. That might have been what I did wrong. Sorry, thanks for your patience, man. We gotta figure this stuff out, man. Again, I like to shoot from the hip. I keep thinking I should be writing outlines, and I should probably do like a dry run before where I figure out all this stuff so I can just do it nice and clean, and then a part of me just says, oh god, that's just too much work. I don't want to do it all. What time is it, man? Ooh, it's almost 9 o'clock, almost time for Mr. Robot. I gotta watch it. Come on. Oh no, what in the hell? Oh, nuts. Oh, that's stupid. No. Nope, it's not gonna work. It hates me, just hates me too much right now. Shoot. Okay, so there's something wrong here, and I can't quite figure it out. Oh. Blast it. Okay, so there's enable spec profiles. When enabled, your profile will be set to specific profile when you change specialization. And I'm going to keep the same profile regardless of what I'm doing. Okay, so let me get into one of my other characters. At least I can do this much. Alright, I got 2 paladins. Actually I got 3 of them. I got a Tauren paladin. Alright, you can see where my grid there is. It's like, oh no, so I'm on my other character. What do I do? Do I have to redo this all over again? Oh no. So I was wrong about you being able to share it across accounts, but you can share it. You should be able to share it on an account. And there it is. Stephen Lord. There he is. Reload UI. Boom, it's there. It's done. Everything is set up. Nice. Okay. What am I doing? Am I holy? Okay. 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 Or I like that one. I like that one. I like double bacon. I'll do double bacon. Alright, so everything should be carried over. So 1, Venging Wrath just popped up. We're all good. And I'm gonna give myself, I just gave myself bacon right there. I did a click, so I have click bindings, and to give myself bacon of light, it's shift left button. So I also have 2 bacons, so I'm gonna have to do another click binding for the other bacons. There's bacon of faith and bacon of light. I give myself bacon of light, but I'll have to do something different for bacon of faith. To do that at another time. It shouldn't be too hard, because lots of these are all oops. These are all gone. These don't exist anymore. We don't have those right now. Maybe we'll get them later. So there's lots of places I can put it. Oh yeah, hand to sacrifice is now blessing to sacrifice. So if you try to do hand to sacrifice, that isn't going to work because it's now called blessing to sacrifice again. So we can talk about click in another video. I think that covers everything, man. It's almost time. It's almost time for Mr. Robot, and I'm going to watch it, whether or not you like it or think it's any good. I think it's really good. I don't think hacking is going to change anything. I just like the story. I think change comes much differently. I don't think hacking does very much of anything besides piss everyone off and make things a little bit more difficult, but I don't think it makes anything better in the world. Alright, that should be everything that I wanted to show you about Grid. And unless there's some third-party add-on that fixes that functionality, what I thought that my profile would be shared between both. I have two different accounts, so I thought that maybe that would be shared on a different account, and unfortunately it's not. Perhaps there is a third-party add-on that gives me that functionality. I don't know. Maybe if I see it, I'll tell you about it. Otherwise, I think that's it. I gotta get out of here. I gotta watch some tube boob. I got that backwards, but I'm dyslexic, so I do that kind of stuff anyway. Alright, thanks for hanging out, man. Later, dudes.